introduce the moderator for the final session today, Ms. Osteraas from Expo.
Great, thank you. I think moderator is a good term. Like moderator is a nuclear reactor, where the moderator absorbs all the fusion and fission products. With the speakers that we have for the next session, we should have certainly plenty of energy and not some sparks. But first, I'd like, it would be a fitting symposium if we didn't have a pop quiz. So we can start out. And first, pick the real Helmut. By show of hands, you can go for one or the other. So, A. All right. B. Pretty good.
Who's B?
And then, unfortunately, I thought I had one of the only photographs of Helmut wearing a top. But of course, he's wearing one today. But I think the photos we saw of Helmut with his tie were like photos of the fire in the marina following the '89 earthquake. It was the same fire showed 1,000 times on TV. So, okay, where's Helmut? The steel tower or the ivory tower? And Helmut would always prefer to be crawling around a damaged steel tower than hanging out in his office in the ivory tower. This is the same building that Eduardo showed. This is a few years later in 1988. I was down there with Helmut, climbing around this tower very cautiously, taking measurements and photographs, and Helmut was up on the building running around like a young puppy, and I was scared to death most of the time, not for my safety, but that Helmut was going to go off the edge. It was. Totally reckless, total abandonment.
Was this before he signed the thesis?
This is before. This is long before. Now, for those of you who think that you have a difficult challenge selling performance-based engineering, or anything else for that matter, to your clients, pity for Helmut. Here is a world-renowned expert in performance-based engineering, trying to sell those concepts to none other than his son, who has a house in San Jose with no load path. Who had, I'm kidding them, who had. And who is more interested in making the house habitable than making it reliable for the next millennium. And along comes Helmut trying to convince him that he needs things like pull downs and plywood and a load path. And Marcus's response is, "I survived 1906. How bad can it be?" Anyway, if you have to choose a place to be in the Bay Area in the next major earthquake, it's Marcus's house. No, it's not. Marcus's house is much better. Anyway, we thus far heard from 9 speakers who presented to us various facets of Helmut's long career. A key reason for Helmut's effectiveness as a researcher and a teacher has been his strong ties and interactions with leading practitioners in the engineering community over the last 40 years, entire career. He has served as a consultant, a peer reviewer, usually, often an unpaid critic, on important design and retrofit projects, and played a key role in numerous applied research projects, such as SAP and various things working towards performance-based engineering. By virtue of these connections, Helmut has maintained a cutting-edge relevancy in his research work, as well as inspired students with real-world design examples. And I remember taking the design class, and one day we received a handout of about 20 pages or so, which was the entire set of calculations for about a 20-story steel frame building. And we went through those line by line, page by page, and at the end of that exercise, but also by his ability to apply sometimes arcane research results to practical problems. Helmut's advice has been sought out by the engineering profession to assist in the progress of design and implementation of that technology. For this session, we are fortunate to have three outstanding representatives of the community of practitioners who will provide their perspective on Helmut's considerable influence in the community over his career. Our first speaker is Ron Hamburger. Ron and Helmut first met in 1990 after Ron had completed what was the first legitimate performance-based assessment of an existing building in San Francisco using modern tools of nonlinear analysis